back for another amazing week. Shonda Rhimes did not miss a beat with this one, and we were not left disappointed. Before we start our show tonight, let's go ahead and welcome our guests. We do have Morgan and Michelle with us. Ladies, say hi.
Hello.
And Michelle, say hi.
Hi.
All right, everybody that's tuning in, don't forget to join the chat at myslicetv.com. We want to make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're tweeting, make sure you're Facebooking, make sure you're Instagramming your after the scandal parties. All right, ladies, let's jump right into this thing. This episode started out with the clip from, or the cliffhanger from last week. We saw Papa Pope walking in on Mama Pope and basically telling her, your daughter wants to see you. But basically, I'm not going to let that happen. What you going to do is disappear again for another couple of years. And thus spins the news story of Mama Pope. Michelle, when this clip came, what were you expecting? She looked kind of crazy and kind of sickly, but what was your first impression of Mama Pope?
The eyes. Her eyes reminded me of that lady on A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Like she's crazy.
Lucia.
That's who she reminded me of. Brandy, I think her name is on the movie. That's what, and I just knew, baby, you liked it. I mean, Pop Pope is crazy, but there was something deeper crazy about her. I just knew that she was the most vicious of all. I said that earlier in a post on Facebook. I said she's the most vicious person of all, which is why she has to be kept away.
Well, that was a really good observation because really I was still stuck on Papa Pope being just flat out crazy and no telling what he's done and who he's hiding from who to cover up something. But I have to agree, those eyes were. I mean, she was giving you like Twitch, like she was giving you crazy, you know. And I was a little scared myself. So for those of you guys who aren't too sure what we're speaking about, or if you happen to miss this, we got it right here for you. Check this out.
Our daughter's been asking about you. I wish I could say they were innocent questions, that she's trying to find out what lullabies you sang or what cookies you made when she was sad. They're not, so tomorrow night, when America is sleeping, I'm putting you on a plane and taking you out of the country. It is not a vacation or even a change of scenery. The room you'll be occupying is much like the room you're in now, only further away and harder to find. Understand? Good.
I want to see her.
Excuse me?
Olivia, I want to see her. I want to see my daughter, and I want you to make it happen before I leave. Before I travel to some godforsaken room in some godforsaken country to spend the rest of my godforsaken life there.
You know that's not possible.
Then make it possible.
And there you have it. Crazy meets Psycho. And they birth the fixer, Olivia Pope. I don't really get it yet, but I'm sure those pieces are going to come together in the near coming episodes. All right, ladies, now let's go ahead and jump around because this episode kind of gave us a little bit of every story that she started last week. The next thing is whoever killed the security guard is our person. We go right into the conference room with the Popes or with Olivia and the crew, and they're looking for the person who killed the security guard. And we all know it was psychopathic Quinn. And she's standing there looking like, What's going on with Quinn, ladies? What is this? Why is she still?
He acts like Huck is not so good at his job. It kind of it insulted me that she was thinking so low of Huck. He trained you. How did you not think she was going to find out? It would have been better for her to come clean and have Huck protect her than it would be for what is going to happen next week.
I have to agree. She was tripping. She was tripping a lot. For those of you who don't know what tripping is, she was not in her right
Twin.
mind.
Yeah.
Exactly. She was
Twin.
not in her right mind. She was trying to play a lot of people, and she was being very naive about the entire situation. Okay, so then we skip right back to that prison cell, or I'm gonna call it a prison cell. I don't know where it was. I doubt she was in a prison with everybody else. But Mama Pope holding on to dear life to that gate with the left hand, and
Oh.
lo and behold, chewing up the right one. Now I said, thinking for a steak. What she got over there? She is going in. Then it zooms in, and there is blood everywhere. I said, this woman is trying to eat her way to freedom. Ladies, what? Shonda has taken it to another level. Cannibalism. Okay. This
It's
was a
a
bit extreme.
sin. That was so nasty. It was, I was listening there thinking cannibalism is a sin to the fullest. There is no way. If my baby was gone for 20 years, it's going to be 20 more years before I eat my ribs to see her. I just can't see a mother. There is like I said before, there's an end to a mother's love. And there, she passed that end. She went past that line. We don't do that. And when I say we, y'all know who we don't do that. We're not eating our skin and our flesh and our veins and blood vessels. We're not doing that. And I don't know what's wrong with her. It just adds to she's crazy.
Now, listen, I do have to give a disclaimer. Everybody, her attempt at suicide was not funny. It is a very serious situation. And if you ever feel like you are metaphorically trapped or literally trapped and you want to get out, please find help. But speaking about the show and the event that took place tonight, that right there, that scene showed us that she really was crazy. Now, if we didn't know in the first clip, this clip right here showed us there was a lot more going on to this woman. There was a whole lot going on to this story, and we need some answers, okay? Then she looked up and she said, "Where is she? What do you mean? I told you to protect her." And then I started thinking, wait a minute. We thought you were the victim this whole time. We thought Papa Pope was this psycho person who had fits, shoot down the plane that you were on and that you was dead, but now you're alive. And now this lady, something was in that manila folder a couple of episodes ago. Something going on with this B613. These people, look, I don't trust nobody right now, okay? Ladies.
I don't even trust Olivia, honestly. I can't trust her. I mean, first you are ignoring the president's calls, then you're on the house on the hill and on cloud 9. Somebody's got to.
I have to agree. Now, let me go ahead and bring Morgan into this conversation because, Morgan, I want to hear from you tonight, okay? We got to hear from all of our guests. Morgan, the love story, if you call it that, between Fitz and Olivia. We haven't really seen them light the fire all season. But suddenly tonight, well, look, she said no. She was still mad about her dad or about her mom. And then he sent her that photo in that manila envelope. What's with the manila envelopes, y'all? We got to start passing messages.
Putting them back on the map.
Okay.
Envelopes back on the map.
And like Michelle said, the next thing you know, she hopping off of Air Force One in a handmade, a personal cabin that he done built out in the Appalachian Mountains, talking about this is our love cave. Come on, y'all. What's going on?
I was really trying to figure out the timeline of that. So is this since they've been talking about? I've really been trying to figure out the timeline of when he had time to build a whole mansion. So this must have been once the campaign started 4 years ago, because I don't know how that. Right. And I was a little suspect because it looked like the house that he grew up in the flat. It looked like the house in the flashbacks from last week. So I was just like, he ain't built that house.
You're kind of right. Yeah, I don't know if it was the style of house, that country cabin, outdoors, woodsy thing. But I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, so you just been plotting on Olivia for what, years now? Oh, you knew she was gonna be yours. What's happening?
I thought he was gonna say it was the house where he grew up, and that was gonna be like a sentimental moment or something. But no.
I did think it was kind of sentimental, a little bit, kind of sweet between them. And I guess Michelle and Morgan, I do want to ask you this because as women, when we're done with something, we want to be done. And I feel like Olivia wanted to be done this time, but maybe she just wasn't as done as she thought. They seem to have been throwing punches back and forth. I did this to you, and I don't need your protection because I hurt you like this. And then he throws it back at her like, yeah, well, this happened too. And, well, then they are rolling in the sheets in front of the handmade
Rolling in the deep.
Right, there you go.
Rolling in the
Did you see
deep.
his position when she was up there getting dressed? He was on the floor like he was a murder victim, and they were just about to outline his body in chalk. She put it on him. So I have to say that Olivia, yeah, she was right when she said she ruined his life. Because Fitz was not aware that any of this stuff could ever happen. He just took an order, shot down a plane with no questions asked, and that was it. Fitz didn't know everything he was getting ready to get himself into. Olivia has been crazy. So I feel like Olivia has an upper hand there.
Olivia.
I'm kind of over their love story. And it's not because I'm Team Jake, because obviously that's not going to happen. I'm just over the love story right now. I really thought that it would have been a little bit more unique, a little bit more creative for her to have them end this season without being reconnected. I'm just a little over it. It's just like, and I'm over Melly, like getting her hopes up, like, and then it just falling through. Like last week, Fitz was ride or die for Melly on that interview, and this week her feelings is hurt again. Or her feelings are hurt again. Because he was with Olivia. I'm just really over it. I'm just over that part of this right now. And now we have another affair going on between Cyrus and it's just like, can we do something else, please?
But you know what, though? I'm not over it because in last week's episode, he had to come to Millie's defense. He wants to get reelected, so it's in him. His survival mode is now turned on. If he let that reporter just attack her, then, people are they can speculate and say, well, you let this happen, this is your wife, and this was your fault. But he stood up and said, okay, this is my fault, so you direct those questions towards me. He had to do that. So it wasn't, just the love he feels for her. It was a survival technique, I think.
I don't think he did it as a ploy. I honestly think he responded. Even if he doesn't love her, I think he does have a heart. So I think in that moment he responded just because it was just like, okay, enough. And she said, fight for me. So he was responding to that, even though he's not in love with her. I think he has love for her. He hates her, definitely, but I do think he has love for her.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I just think that a person that kills 330 people has a heart. Like, if we have that here in America, it'll be like, you have no heart. So I don't think he has a heart, honestly.
Well, you know what?
I
think what they've been trying to show, or at least one of the perspectives that they've been trying to show throughout all of Scandal, are the multiple sides to an individual, and how in one area or aspect of life you can be compassionate and loving and tender and kind, and in another aspect of life, that same person can be cold or cut off or distant. And so I think this episode showed a good portion of that, or just the season or the space where an individual can be confused, or just how your mess can catch up with you. Let's just say that, like how it can actually catch up with you. Specifically, like let's take Cyrus and James. James seems to be this sweet, loving, caring person who has been played multiple times by the person that he has, married and pledged his love to. And we've watched it over and over and over again. And so in this episode, he got hurt. And you see Cyrus just playing the same old game. And when it got caught up to him, well, you saw what happened. He looked Melly in her eyes and was like, Melly, you think James gonna cheat on me? Honey, my husband's not your husband.
It's not your husband.
Oh, he tried it. And, well.
Honestly, I think that going off of that's same vein, that this episode is about limits and how testing, like seeing, like how, like what is your limit, and like just with that, Cyrus, like you said, has been pushing James this entire, like the entire, all the seasons. He's just pushing him and pushing him and pushing him until finally, like, how much is enough? Just like with Quinn, it seems like as soon as you ever got a bad report card or something, you got a bad report card coming in the mail, and it seems like that's the day that your parents just love you something extra. They taking you out for ice cream, and you got to break some hard news to them. So Huck gave Quinn her compliment, and then finally Mama Pope been locked up for 20 years, and she decides she gonna stick a needle in somebody's neck now. So I think this episode was also about like limits and how much is enough. How much can you get away with until it's just too much, and then the big dogs really start coming out.
Well, that's really good, because that's similar to what Michelle was saying earlier. They have limits. I have a limit to what I'm gonna do to get you back. I have a limit to what I'm gonna do to get free from this. I have a limit to what I'm gonna accept. I have a limit to everything. And Mama Pope, she seemed to not know her limits. Okay, she said, "Oh, I can lay in this bed for 20 years, honey, but when I'm ready to get up out of here, oh, I can get up out of here." And that's exactly what she did. She laid right in that bed with her arms strapped. I'm assuming her feet was strapped too, laying up there sickly. The malnourished. What are you putting in that? Oh, just a little something to put you to sleep. The next thing, he straddled naked on the floor with a little put you to sleep in his neck. I said, this
not
woman.
Quill. No, he went.
Then she hid in the shadows.
He went night. He went real night.
Libby?
You want to go night? You want to go night?
Night.
Ladies, and all of our viewers, all of our gladiators, what did everybody think when they saw her curled up in the corner? I mean, well, she wasn't curled up, but hiding in the shadows. I'm thinking, how did Olivia even know it was her? I would have been scared. Now, look, I'm not scared of homeless people, but somebody calling my name out, Libby, like that, and I turned around and some woman shaking, I would be nervous. I wouldn't have automatically thought that was my mama, but Olivia did.
Because of Libby. She said Libby.
I think that, with her love of danger, even when the woman had the bomb strapped to her chest, she went into the office, even though everybody else was running in the opposite direction. I mean, so she's not going to, pick up her step as normal people were like, somebody's calling me from the dark. I'm going to pick up my step and get on in here. But she turns around and, it's like, oh my God, no, I would have taken out into a sprint into my house where it's safe.
But she knows her mom's voice, though. She knows her mom's voice, and I think that Livy was really strategic, because you haven't heard anybody ever call her Livy in all of the seasons. Nobody has called her Livy, so I think that was somewhat strategic.
Yeah, kind of pull it on one of those sentimental strings. Well, what it also made me think of was everybody, there's like a lot of secrets that we are coming up on, a lot of things that we are getting ready to find out, and I think that everybody knows a little bit of something that they haven't shared. For instance, we all know Quinn knows a little bit of what's actually behind, last week's drama, and it's her in B613, and the other guy that she's running around the nights with.
Charlie.
Yes, and then everybody in B613 knows a little bit more about the whole plane crash than what they really let know. So that means that Hawk and Jake really know a little bit more, and then everybody knows really a little bit more about her mama, and her mama knows a little bit more, but she's been locked up, and her daddy know a little bit more, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I think everybody is trying to protect Olivia from something, and I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this thing we find out Olivia got like 16 personalities, and they each been trying to protect each other. And everybody been trying to protect her from all other of her 16 personalities.
You know what? I think that last week when we had, a question about is kids and daddy, I think he's about to be a papa. I think that in this episode where they did the do and was twisted, 2 ways to Sunday, I think that he's going to end up being a papa.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know somebody's getting ready to end up a killer. Okay, yo,
Mm,
this whole Huck and Quinn and Huck and Quinn trying to play Huck, but I think she about to. I'm not gonna say what I think. What do y'all think?
Have to meet the master.
Oh, I like that.
I don't think she's about to meet the best. I don't think Huck will be able to do it. Yes, he is a trained killer and he likes to kill, but I think that he's going to let her. I mean, he's going to torture her and let her see how it is. But I think that he's really going to, I don't know, stop at some point, and then he's going to go after who he needs to go after, who got her into this. Yes, it's herself, but Charlie and Command and whoever else. I think he's going to torture her to give her a taste of it, and then go on after the big dogs.
And I think the big dogs are definitely getting ready to come out here because the last conversation that Fitz and Olivia had, I just want you to know that I love you because I'm getting ready to go after your dad. I want you to go after him too because I won't stop until I get answers. Good, because I need answers. I need to know why. Okay, because I need answers too. Do you know what I mean? Like,
She got people doing her work for her.
everybody needs answers, and I just have a feeling that these are not the answers they think they're gonna get, and they're definitely not gonna be the answers that they think they like, and they need to just, Olivia, you tell me. What should Olivia do at this point? Because her dad has been telling her to stop all this time, and she is determined to find out. Michelle, what would you do at this point? I mean, would you keep going? Would you keep digging? Or would you stop? Would you just try to chalk up the past as the past?
I would cash out everything I own, liquidate everything, and leave the country because this is getting too much. I had a headache after tonight's episode. I was just like, I'm just not sure that I can take this much drama ever. It was just a whole bunch. Now, I'm happy about this drama because I like Kendall, but I think that,
For real life.
I mean, on a real note or a real fake note from the show, I think Olivia is going to keep going into it. I mean, she sees her mom after 20 years, and I'm thinking that your daddy, who you reappear, yeah, we're gonna keep digging, and somebody may die in this next episode. I saw the guns when the previews were coming for the next for December 5th.
Yeah.
So somebody may die.
That's good. And just to keep it kind of in this vein for a little while longer, Morgan, I want to ask you this question. You've been really good throughout our show with giving us insight or detail into the metaphors, and so I think it was very interesting that the mom had been around and yet so distant, but she's been locked up in this prison per se, and Fitz has been around, but he's had this empty home just waiting, and it seemed to be his type of prison, per se. And Olivia seems bound by the answers that she needs, as if she's in some type of prison. Morgan, go ahead. What did you really take away from this episode, or what did it spark in you?
I was just thinking about that joke. I think this will show us, what really matters. Because was she looking into the case because her mother died? And now that she has her mother, is she just going to be content with that? Or is now the time to find out why all this went down in the first place? So what are the priorities? I would say. Like that would be, but I don't think they're going to have time for that because, now it's the entire B613 against Mama Pope and Olivia Pope. So, and they had like those machine guns. Like, this is war. So I don't know. It's just really jacked up. Yeah. It's just really jacked up. But again,
you know what I think?
Go ahead, Michelle.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking back to past episodes. When she called in the Providence something and she gave the security code and all of that, I'm thinking that she should have thought for the future. That was not an emergency. What is an emergency is what's about to happen in the next episode, and there's nothing that Fitz can do to protect her from what's about to happen. Like, he has to sit back and watch, pretty much. I'm thinking she should have used that providence for next week. Like, my mom showed up. I need to be president. I need to be locked in this room.
Well, speaking of, yeah, but Olivia, maybe she does have another ace in the hand. She got another get out of jail free card locked away somewhere. Somebody is gonna come up out of some rock and gonna feel the need to protect her with his very life. Olivia, that girl, she'll be fine. But gladiators out there and viewers of After the Scandal, you know that every week we do a character of the week. And so this week I gave it to none other than another Pope. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't help it. My family is crazy. Mama Pope. I don't know if you get reception behind those bars that you've been locked up in all these years. But boo, if you do, I picked you. Because you're crazy. You're crazy. And I don't know if you're crazy because you've just been having friends with cement walls all these years. I don't know if you was crazy before you went in there. Michelle, Morgan, come on.
I don't think she's crazy. I don't think that's the one thing I was going to say. I don't think she's crazy. I just think that, sometimes when your mind is super clear, you do what needs to be done.
Well, is she a terrorist? I mean, is she like is she a worldwide terrorist? There's something.
She had to put that bomb on that plane or something.
Listen,
yeah,
Papa Pope is afraid of her. And Papa Pope has not been afraid of anybody. But that woman puts a little pause in his step. He checks his shoulders. He knows what's up. Like, he knows that she's 2 steps ahead of him, which is why he keeps checking on her.
Well, love can be an Achilles heel. That's why I was confused. Why was he sitting in front of the television crying when the plane went down? So I don't doubt that she's smart. I don't doubt that she probably got some secrets. I don't doubt that she probably cutthroat. But I don't think she's crazy.
Yeah,
I think her mind is very clear. And I think
but crazy. But listen, okay, chewing, honey. No, she chewed him. She chewed him and she let him fall. But crazy can be, many definitions of crazy.
It's a thin line between genius and insanity.
There you go. She's straddling that fence. Okay, she is walking that tightrope very well, and I guess we will see in the upcoming episodes, because I just wasn't too sure. I'm like, this lady. She looked at him. She said, "I told you to protect her. Where are the pictures from Thanksgiving? Pictures around the Christmas tree. All the birthdays I missed. Where are them at?" Right. I was like, oh my God. Like, ooh. He said, "We grew distant." I think that was the wrong answer to give Mama Pope.
He had to take a step back.
Oh, do you want some water? He went and got some water.
Can I just wanted to bring up one little point.
Oh, go ahead.
It's the one thing that I've been waiting for the last 3 seasons.
Oh.
And it happened, and it was a split second, and I was a little disappointed.
Oh, what?
Has anyone noticed that Harrison is the only one that has yet to have a love interest?
Okay, I was saying that. And I said, normally it's Rico Suave, Harrison type that is, in on everybody.
Yes. This is the first, he has not had a love interest in 3 seasons, and then it was like a one-night stand, and it's with his daughter sister.
Right.
And
the client
so
was terrible.
I'm just really disappointed by that. I think he deserved better. I think he should have, he'd been crushing on Olivia since season 1. I think he should have had something a little bit more in depth. So I hope that was just a preview of what's to come.
He should have been able to smash something just a little bit higher than the baby who was raised by her grandma. I was mad at China for that. Because I'm like, you just don't do him like that. He has been the most loyal, and you give him the bottom of the barrel. No, I got benefits.
Y'all are so silly. No, I do.
I don't like her.
I have to agree. Like, when when that scene came on, and I was like, he did not. No, I can't
But
believe this. Like, we waited 3 years for that? I mean, listen, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying.
You saw his neck without a dress coat or a dress shirt or a tie around it. I mean, we just automatically knew. When he sat there and talked to Abby, I was heartbroken by that.
But he needs love too. You know, clearly he didn't find it. That's not what that was. But
we need that man that loves him so much to come on in back into the country.
Hey, Maka D.
Snap.
He stopped her to check on her.
Oh.
She put him in his. She said no.
Well, while we're talking about subtle things that this episode had, I think I want to talk about Jake trying too hard. Was it just me, or was Jake he was really trying to be the hero in this episode, and he kept getting shot down? I don't think smashing that phone is going to keep him away from you. He'll find a way. I told you he'll find. I was just like, Jake, would you stop? Your timing is so wrong. Just go back in the other room and work on something. Just chill out.
Earn your keep. Earn your keep, Jake. You shut your mouth about what I'm doing. I mind your business and earn your keep. Go out there and figure out what happened to my mother. Don't worry about who's calling me and who's gonna get to me.
Like, chill out. Look, so for all people who are rooting for Jake and Olivia, okay, well, you know, we'll give you guys another week, and that's what we're gonna say. We're gonna say he has to earn his keep. He has to earn it.
Keep hope alive.
Jake is messy, not messy. Jake is he has epic fails, which means he's still innocent. He's still innocent-minded and still innocent in his heart. The people who get away with this stuff are the little sneaky, conniving folks. He's not gonna happen. Him and Olivia are not gonna happen because he's like the good guy that doesn't know that nobody wants. But I like Jake. He just needs to get out of V613 so he can have a nice life.
You need to put back on that uniform. You put back on your Navy uniform, and maybe we can talk about it. But if you're sitting here scruffy, won't shave in November, all of this, and you get none. No, sir. Go back and earn your keep. You're here. You have nowhere to go. So he's grabbing for nothing. It's just scraps there for him. Olivia's heart is not with you. Even though you smashed a couple times, it's just not with you. It belongs to the president. Olivia Smith. Thank you.
Well, that's it. That is it, and that is it for us tonight, gladiators. Listen here. If you don't have a place to go, if you just reaching for something and you can't grab it, lean over, turn on your laptop, tune in to myslicetv.com. We'll be here every Thursday after the scandal, okay? And whether you're Team Jake or Team Fitz, we're going to figure it out together. We're going to laugh. We're going to scream. Ooh, we're going to get the goosebumps. We're going to pray that nobody else is eating on themselves next week. But we're going to be here, and we'll be watching it. Thanks so much, everybody. Be sure you check us out on Twitter. You follow us on Facebook. You follow us on Instagram. And it's not just after the scandal you can keep in touch with. You can also keep in touch with our guests, Morgan and Michelle. Ladies, let the viewers know how they can keep in touch with you.
I am on Facebook, Mr. Littlejohn, and on Twitter, Sheldell01. Sheldell with an S.
And I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Morgan Breon. Instagram, I'm Morgan_Breon, BREON.
All right, everybody. Well, we are dipping out like we are part of the B613 crew. We will see you guys next week. That's right. You're watching After the Scandal here on My Slice TV at Slice Network. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you after the scandal.